fearless mayor here from the city of Temple. And I'm glad that, he took me up on this. He's a very busy person like we all are. But I'm glad he had the opportunity to come by and stop and just come out and share what's going on in this area and all that, but his personal life and his job, not only that, but his marriage to his lovely wife. So it's a lot of different things. So in a minute, I'm going to just chill out, and he's going to do a lot of the talking because he knows more information than I do. And it's not for that, but it's for you to understand what's going on in the city of Temple. I know sometimes you can't make it to a city council meeting. I know sometimes, you can't make it to certain meetings. But the idea is we bring it all together in a nutshell. And not only that, but how you can get involved with your city. Don't just look at what city can do for you. It's like John F. Kennedy, doesn't it? But what can you do for your city? And so this is a great city to live in this great state. So the idea is for you to get involved of what's going on locally. We do different things worldwide. Everybody want to go to this place and that place. But what about what's going on in your own environment? And so I would ask you just get connected and plugged in. Also, if you're watching, we ask you to type your name in, let us know that you're watching, and the IT person in the back will put your name up there. And if it doesn't interrupt the mayor, and when he's talking, I'll call your name out, let you know that this is live. And don't forget now, I want you to really, if you're on Facebook, push like, comment, and share. If you're on YouTube, push like, comment, and subscribe. Okay? Let's talk about one more time. Okay. On Facebook, push like, comment, and share. And if you're on YouTube, push like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have friends that you want to share this with, please do so. Because, like I said, this is a place that's very safe. Not only that, but we want to let you know what's going on in your neck of the woods. So I want you to just give a warm welcome to Mayor Tim Jones, and he does a whole lot of things. Mayor Davis, I said Jones.
I didn't know who Jones was.
I tell you, it's live.
It's Davis, Jones, it's like Smith.
Davis. But the idea, let's tell you, this is live. It's no rerun, and we can't take that over. So what you heard was just a blooper by me. Yes. So I tell you, I am human. I am not a robot. Okay. But the idea is I want to let Mayor introduce himself. Not only that, talk about his job site. Not only with City Temple, but his personal job site. Also, talk about your lovely wife, not only that, but talk about your church and where you attend and your role there. And just have fun with this, okay?
Yeah, very good.
So go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah. So my name is Tim Davis, not Tim Jones. Actually, you and I have known each other long enough. That is not an issue. I know you know who I am. No, so I'm married to Jennifer. Jennifer and I have been married for this summer will be 36 years.
Wow, congratulations.
We met in Abilene at Abilene Christian as freshmen. We met in September of 1985 as freshmen going into college and married the following summer in 1986.
Wow.
So we were the ripe old age of 19. And we finished 3 years of school together. That was in Abilene. We had a couple of kids there. Moved to Temple in 1994 with, I always sort of jokingly say we moved here in a U-Haul with 2 kids, 2 cats, and a bunch of furniture. And really, that's kind of where the adventure started, is we did not really have a plan other than that. And so, through the years, I built up a business here. My day-to-day job is I own a health insurance agency called Texas Benefit Alliance. Okay. All we do is deal with employer-sponsored plans. So we go to the employer, and then the employer decides what's going to be offered. And we do health insurance, medical insurance, dental insurance, vision, all of that.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So I think many times people think that the mayor job is a paying position and that's what I do for a living. That's not what I do for a living. I have a day-to-day, and I'm very blessed with a good staff to allow me time to serve the citizens of Temple. I was elected to the city council as a council member. In 2013, I was a District 1 council member, which is basically the northeast, I guess, quadrant of the city, and served there from 2013 to 18. Became mayor in 2018, was reelected mayor in May of 2021. So I'm just finishing up the 4th year of my mayorship, which would be the first year of the second term. So 3-year terms. We can run for 3-year terms.
Okay.
So that's sort of that's what I do. The mayorship, it takes some time. So like I said, I've got a really good staff that takes care of me at work. My wife is a longtime school teacher here.
Okay.
She worked for Temple ISD for a number of years, and then served for 7 years on the school board. There was a time where she was not a school, she wasn't employed by the district. So she served for 7 years on the TISD school board, loved that. But has since gone back to work at TISD in a couple different capacities in her time back. She's currently a 5th grade reading teacher at Cater, and enjoys that. We have, like I said, we came here with 2 kids and 2 cats. We had another kid while we were here. So we have 3 children. The oldest is 31, the middle is 28, the youngest is 23. And our youngest, Hope, was she was born here at Scott and White.
Wow.
So earlier before before we started the broadcast, you and I were talking about the schools, and my kids went to school in this facility when it was a TISD facility.
Yes, sir.
And then went over to Meredith Dunbar, for the magnet school. So, we love Temple. We've been here since 1994. This is our home, obviously. Temple's only been good to us, with my work building a business here, and then, my wife teaching, and we just felt like Temple's been so good that it was an opportunity for us to give back.
Yes, sir.
And so that's why she spent time on the school board, and I spent time, obviously, on the city council. I attend Western Hills Church of Christ.
Okay, say it again.
Yep.
So you call you pastor, probably me watching.
Yep. Scott Meyer. Western Hills Church of Christ, which is the church building right across the interstate from Black Rifle Coffee. Used to be Starbucks.
Yes.
It's right there by the Love of Christ food pantry. I go there. We've gone there for a number of years, and I serve there as the chair of what we call the mission leadership team.
Wow.
So we support, the church supports missionaries. We have some in Brazil. We have a missionary that recently has moved to Mexico, and we support him financially. And then we have missionaries we have 2 sets of missionaries in Africa. One in sort of Central Africa in Uganda.
Okay.
And then we support another missionary down in South Africa, all the way down in Cape Town, which is at the very tip. Africa is as long, north to south, as the United States is wide.
Wow.
So he is at the tip of Africa in Cape Town, literally, on the Atlantic Ocean. And beautiful town, beautiful people. Cape Town actually has 11 million people in it.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's an interesting place, very diverse culture there, but the nicest, sweetest people that you would ever meet. And the thing that I love about South Africa, because I don't really spend any real time in South Africa, is it's such a much slower pace. The people take the time, and they enjoy relationships, they enjoy their day, and nothing is they're never in too big of a hurry. And usually, I've been there a couple of times, spent about 10 days each time I've gone, and it takes me a while to slow down, from our pace to the United States, and
Yes.
about the time that my sleep cycle changes to South African time, and my mood changes to South African time, it's time to come back home. So then
Wow.
I have to get geared right back up. But that is That's a wonderful ministry. We have actually, our missionary there is a man named Denville Willie, and he's a native South African. And Western Hills Church of Christ has been his sole financial support since 1986.
Wow.
So for 35 years, we have been his sole support. And he's a man there that every day gets up, and his vocation is to serve God. And to bring people into God's fold. And it's amazing to watch him do that. So I wear a lot of hats.
Yes, sir.
And I am busy, as you said earlier, but that's okay. I'm doing everything that I want to do, and the important things you find time for.
Yes,
right?
my instructor told me in seminary school, he said, God doesn't use nobody but busy people.
That's right.
So,
and and we do the same thing at the city. We want busy people that will take the time to volunteer there, because busy people are the ones that get stuff done.
yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so they don't have time to wait around for someone else to do it, and so that's the busy people typically get more put on them.
Yeah. So how many years have you been in missions in this area, over staffing that?
So I have been. So at Western Hills, our mission focus is very distinct. The mission leadership team, which I'm part of, and have been, I bet we reconstituted that committee probably 2010 or 11. So I've been on that committee since then.
Wow.
And I've been the chair of that committee since probably 2014 or so. And there are, I think God gives us. We all have our strengths, and one thing that I have appreciated over the years is learning what my strengths are.
Yes.
And one of the strengths that I feel like I have is the ability to, in many ways, take a back seat to those that are on the front lines when it comes to missions. So we, at Mission Leadership Team, we spend a lot of time organizing. We spend a lot of time in front of our own church, keeping them up to speed with what our mission, various missionaries across the globe are doing. And so in that instance, I'm not on the front line like I am in my mayorship, but there I'm more of a support role, and I think that's where God wants me to be. Yeah. And so I've just like every other thing you do, there's good times and there's bad times. And but whenever you understand that that's God's calling for you, then you just keep doing the work.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then you enjoy the good times, you work through the bad times.
Yes.
And it all works out.
Yeah. This is a faith walk.
Yes.
God doesn't show us the whole plan, because if He did, we may mess it up. But He gave it to us piece by piece. Yeah. To get us where we need to go.
If we knew the whole plan, we couldn't handle it.
That's true.
We couldn't take it in.
Right.
Yeah. So the old saying, "How do you eat an elephant?" Right. One bite at a time.
Yes.
Same thing in our faith walk.
Yes.
Yep, I agree.
And some of these things, sometimes I know, Mayor, you say the same thing I do. Like, Lord, what are you doing? I have no idea, but I'm following you. And as long as we just put our trust in Him, the things work out just fine. Doesn't mean we know everything. We'll never know everything.
Walk by faith, not by sight.
Yes. That's scripturized. Oh, boy, you've been reading. I'm messing with you. Messing with you.
Hey, listen, I grew up in Abilene, Texas. You better be a Christian there. There's a church on, in Abilene, and many people might not know this. There are 3 church-based colleges there. Abilene Christian is Church of Christ. Hardin Simmons. They play UMHB a lot. Hardin Simmons is a Baptist affiliated school, and then there's a smaller college named McMurray, and they are a Methodist church affiliated school. So
wow, yeah. I know growing up, I was telling the congregation, and they kind of looked at me like I was crazy, and I told them that I was on drugs when I was growing up, and they looked at me like, drugs? They said, you? And I said, yeah, I was drugged to church. Every time the church door opened, I was drugged. So I was an addict. They didn't even know I was an addict.
That's right.
But the route I was planning on going wasn't this route. But
your mom was
God
your
had
dealer.
better plans. What you talking about? It's called the Board of Education, but back then they didn't just have you. She hit you anywhere she needed to hit you.
Yes, sir.
And I was a runner, and I don't know why, but I never planned out my running. And I was running to a corner, and that was it. And
You needed to run to a door.
wasn't thinking about that at the present time. I learned later, but it was too late.
Well, I was raised by the Board of Education too. I understand.
Yes, I mean, it's important. It kept us out of jail, kept us out of prison.
Yep.
It kept us from a whole lot of different things. And then plus it makes your track record look good that you never entered those things.
Well,
So it's good news.
consequences.
Yes,
Right?
yes, sir.
Immediate
Yes, sir.
and severe sometimes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remember back in the day, the parents, they raised their children. And then all of that, but the people in the area raised their children. So it was to take a village to raise a child. Now, it got quiet. Just got quiet on that one.
I just know that whenever I was growing up, the message was loud and clear that, Tim, if you get in trouble at school, it'll be worse when you get home.
Wow. Yes.
So whatever punishment you get there, that was the easy one. So
Man, wow.
yeah.
I just, recall that, Mama would, like I say, make us go to church, and she was the enforcer at the house. Dad worked a whole lot, so he wasn't too much enforcing, but Mom was the enforcer, and I would average about 3 whoopings a day. That was about the average. And I look back and say I deserved to get what I got because I was just a terror. But Mama whipped it out of me, should I say.
Yeah. I know. I understand. And then the old wait till your dad gets home. That was the anticipation of dad getting home was
Yes.
worse than getting the punishment from Mom right
Yes.
away.
Well,
Yeah.
once Mama got through with me, that was it. Dad didn't have too much left.
She didn't need that.
Because she was tight. So, but it's all good.
good.
But we thank you for the mayor coming and joining us here at this facility. Not only that, but bring back memories about how his children, and not only that, but what this used to be back in the day. But now we have just converted it over to a sanctuary, and not only that, but we have just do what God asks us to do. Do we understand everything? Definitely not. Do we know everything? Definitely not. Do we have the finances? Definitely not. But the Lord does. And so we just allow him to do what he does. Things work out just fine. So if you're out there and you wonder how God's going to do it, stop worrying about it. Just put your trust completely in the Lord and things will work out just fine. Mr. Mayor, tell us what's going on in the city of Temple. Tell me all the good things. I mean, there's a whole lot of different things going on in the city of Temple that we know not of.
Yeah.
And it's our fault. It's, lack.
Well, you know what? Like your dad, right? We're all busy.
Yes.
So it's easy. It's easy to get up in the morning. You go to work. You drive to work. You do your business part of the day. You come home. Many of us drive into a garage. The garage shuts. We go in the side door, and we don't know anything about our neighbors. We don't know anything about what's going on, across the city, and that's fine. I understand that. There are the thing that I love about my position with the city is that I get to have an impact on building a community.
Wow.
Right? And a community means a lot of different things. You build a community here at this church. I'm in a community at my church. We're in a community at our work. But with the city of Temple, my task, along with the city council and obviously the folks that actually work at the city, is the only thing that the city is set up to do is to serve the citizens of Temple, right?
Yes, sir.
We don't make anything. We clean water. We sell water to you, and you make just enough money on that to be able to, to push a pipeline out somewhere into a new neighborhood to serve them. We're not in business, so to speak, except the business of serving the citizens. And the trash truck drives up and it picks up all your stuff for the week and dumps it. All you need, in my case, I just need to roll it out to the street. Some of us just, we have a dumpster in the alley. So, to me, that's a very pure form of service and servanthood. Is that there's an organization called the City of Temple, and its only job is to serve its citizens.
Wow.
That's it. And there's not a profit motive. There's not anything that there's no other motive than to serve the people.
Yes, sir.
And I know this is a church service, and I don't necessarily want to take advantage of that, But
But just talk. Just talk.
that's what Jesus did.
Yes, just
right?
talk.
And I am not equating the city of Temple to the Son of God. But I think that whenever leaders, whether it's the mayor or a minister or a teacher, whoever that is, whenever those leaders are willing to take on that serving, that servanthood type role, I think that's when you really begin to have an impact.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so with that background, so you know my attitude and what I think my role is at the city of Temple. Here's what's going on in Temple. Let's start with downtown.
Okay.
Downtown is coming along. You know, there's some nice restaurants. Soon there will be some residential units available there with the Han. You know,
Yes.
If anybody's been downtown, they see all the scaffolding up that 12 or 13 floors. There will be a couple new parking garages. A lot of people don't know that. There's a couple new parking garages that'll be coming up there shortly. In fact, one of them is right next, just south of the Goodwill building. Everybody knows the old Goodwill building right
Yes,
there
yes.
on Adams and 4th. So that vacant lot, they've dug it out and they're putting in the base for the parking garage. So there are lots of pockets of development like that going on all over the city. You know, and the thought is to maintain the history, right? We're Temple. We know where
Yes,
we
sir.
came from. That the Han has stood there a long time. That's an icon. You know, the train depot
Yes, sir.
downtown, right? And then Temple ISD built their administration building on one side. The Santa Fe Business Center sits on the other side, which is where Workforce is, and Temple Economic Development Corporation and the Chamber. There are 3 entities in there. So I appreciate the intentionality over the years that other leaders before me and that in my leadership on the city council we've enjoyed and we've celebrated the current history, but we've also built up new, right?
Yes,
If you sit around just always maintaining your history, what you end up sitting around is a lot of old stuff that's not functional, not useful.
Dilapidated and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, if you carry on the thought of we're here to serve, right? You serve most efficiently with the most updated equipment, right?
Yes, sir.
That's why you're able to do this.
Yes, yes.
You're not using equipment from the 50s,
No, sir.
right? You're using update, and so that's what we're trying to do at the City of Temple. Into East Side is we're doing a number of things on the East Side. One thing that is very exciting to me is that the city has taken, and there's a department that handles this. The City of Temple has taken the city, and for lack of a better way to say it, they've broken it up into 19 distinct areas, and we're naming each one of those areas. And the thought behind that is, again, if we're building community, let's let the Ferguson Park, and that was the first area, what we call the Ferguson Park District. Let's let Ferguson Park and the neighborhood around that, let's let them form their own identity, right?
Okay.
So when somebody says, "Where do you live?" they don't say, "Well, I live on the East Side." Right, the East Side's a large area.
Yes, it is.
I live in Ferguson Park, and those distinct districts will get their own signage so they can identify that they live they live in Ferguson Park. The city has sent out professionals into the neighborhoods, and they do what's called a charrette, which they bring people in from the neighborhood, because the city doesn't want to plan something that the neighbors don't have buy-in on.
Right. That's good.
Because it's not the city's, it's that community's neighborhood. So let them, because they live there, let them tell us what they need.
Yes.
And so, you know, there's been times where, you know, the city has served hot dogs and chips and drinks, and they set up, in the very first one was in Ferguson Park, and people come through and we, where do you need a sidewalk? Right? Which of these streets in here needs a sidewalk? Is there somewhere when it rains that water puddles to the point that it's a nuisance, right? Do you
Yes,
have
sir.
some drainage issues?
Yes, sir.
You tell us about your neighborhood and let us work toward fixing that to where you have ownership here. This is your place. And so the city staff takes one neighborhood district a quarter, and they go through this process. So we've been doing that process for, I would say, I think that we started that the last quarter of 2019. And so if we're doing one a quarter, that means we're on our 9th or 10th one right now. And those plans and the thoughts from the neighbors are not simply, okay, now we've developed this plan, let's put it on the shelf and not do anything about it. So they actually, the city then programs dollars into those projects. So that, and it may not happen, because we have the charrette today, it may not happen in a year, because a lot of times those things are very expensive.
Yes.
But people need to see that the city is behind them in taking care of their neighborhood. So we've done, like I said, Ferguson Park, we did what we call the silo district, which is over by, we call those, those tanks over by Hack Branch that have
Yes, sir.
the signs on them. Well, we call those the silos, so that's the silos district. And they're working on the garden district now, which is up north of the historic district. I live in the historic district. We've done one there. So we really sort of started downtown, because that's the oldest area, right? It usually is in every city. And then we begin to do that planning around those older neighborhoods. Program money for that so that we can take care of issues in those older neighborhoods, which may need the most attention.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what I'm gathering is that you're married, you have children, you have a full-time job,
Yep.
Ministry, that's full-time too. Then you take on servanthood at the city. That's a whole lot of hats. How do you do it?
Well, one thing is kids are up and out of the house.
Pretty smart, all right.
So,
Kids, I know you're not watching. Okay?
that's right. So I feel blessed that we have the time, right? Because that's what it takes. It takes the time. And I don't, this will sound very self-serving. I don't mean for it to sound, but I'm just talking to you.
Yes, sir.
I watched my parents serve their community in Abilene, where I grew up. My dad worked all the time, 6 days a week, but he served at church. My mother served on the school board in Abilene. My mother served young mothers. We, as a family, my parents were foster parents. So my model, my example was serving growing up, and that's to me that's my vocation. And so even in my insurance business, I want my clients to feel that they have been quote unquote served. I'm not there to pull another buck out of them. I'm there to serve them. And if they need that product, then that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. I'm there to serve your insurance needs. That sounds very self-serving, and I realize that. But as the mayor, I'm there to serve the community needs. And with the mission leadership team at church, I'm there to serve our mission needs at church. So I don't always get it right. And it's not always easy, but we're here for a very short time.
Yes, yes.
And there are people all around us that need us. And I don't, they don't need Tim Davis necessarily, but they need somebody.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
so in those instances where I can step in and be that somebody, then I do that. And it's just whenever it's just part of what you do every day, I don't compartmentalize my service.
Right.
It's just throughout my daily life, I've put myself in positions that I just sort of naturally serve. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Because the Bible says Paul was a tent maker. And so when finances wasn't hitting too hot, he just went and got a job making tents.
Yeah.
Zacchaeus, he was a tax collector, got worse job to have, but somebody had to do it.
Right.
He did it,
Right.
So, so you got to have a line of business, because if not.
Matthew was also a tax collector.
Yes. Yeah. So, and then the fishermen, they did what? They fished.
That's right.
So it's a line of work. So it's not like, it's so understanding that what we do is serve. And Jesus said, I wasn't here to be served, but to what?
To serve.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what you're doing. You hitting it all in a nutshell right there.
And that's okay. Again, it's not. It's just. again, that was my model growing
Yeah.
up. And when it's your model, I don't consciously get up every day and think I'm serving, right? I get up every day and I go about my life. And thankfully, many of the positions I'm in allow me to, that my daily life is of service in some capacity. And I enjoy that.
Right. That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
just, and so, and the Bible says pray for those, your leaders. Okay. So in other words, when you pray at night, pray for Tim Davis, pray for the city of Temple, because, what you're praying for is they hear from God and make the right decision. Sometimes, like I said, they don't get it right. You don't get it right. I don't get it right sometimes. But the idea is we're striving to do what the will of God is telling us to do. So I get excited, and, we're crossing, over to different avenues to get things going. Now, tell us how the residents can help the city of Temple out.
Yep. That's funny. I remember I saw a quote one time. Someone asked the founder of the Hilton Hotels. They said, if you could say anything to anybody that would stay in your hotel as you build your empire, what would it be? And you know what he said?
What was that, sir?
He said, please, when you take a bath in my hotel, put the shower curtain inside the tub so it doesn't rain. So at the basic level, like put the shower curtain inside the tub.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do in the beginning, and every one of us can do it, is take care of your place, right?
That's deep. That's deep.
Don't fry the bacon and then pour the grease down the drain.
Yeah.
Right. Because it may not clog up your pipes, but it may clog up your neighbors.
Yes.
And the reason why your pipes are clogged is because your neighbor may have poured the bacon. So, at the very least, what can people do? They can take care of their, and they can take pride in their square.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Wherever that is.
That's awesome.
No matter how big that. So start at that level. Think of your neighbor, right? Think of your neighbor whenever the music's too loud, or the grass has grown up, or whatever. Give grace, right? And I feel like I've talked grace to your neighbor for 2 years with COVID. Do I wear a mask? Do I not wear a mask? Am I mad at my neighbor because they are wearing a mask? Am I mad at my neighbor because they're not wearing a mask? So give each other grace. That's part of building a community. So those are two things that I think that every resident of Temple, whether they're 3 years old or 93 years old, they can do that. And then I think the second thing for those people that want to be really active in the community, other than don't pour the bacon grease down the trap, look at the properties around you. Look at the TISD properties. Look at the City of Temple parks. Think about how those things are treated. But keep it clean, keep it picked up for the next person to enjoy. And then sort of on a larger, more formal service opportunity, we have what we call our boards and commissions. And our boards and commissions are formal advisory boards to the city council. And those boards and commissions, they run anything from the library board. So if someone is, and find something that you're interested in.
Okay.
You can go to the website for the City of Temple, pull that up, go to search boards and commissions, and there's a description right there of the 17 boards and commissions that we have and what their function is. So if you really enjoy the library, then there's a board and commission for that, and you can get involved if you want to. There's Animal Services Board. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's you would get involved with the animal services around town, whether it be the dog pound or whatever those needs are. You can get involved with some of the construction type boards, Planning and Zoning Commission. So if you want to have an impact, you can do it informally, right?
Yes, sir.
And you just take care of your area.
Wow.
Or you can go up and you can raise your hand and say, yep, I want to participate on a formal level. We have a diversity, equity, and inclusion board that was started in the last year or so. We've even, I'm excited about this one. We have what we call the Youth Advisory Commission, the YAC, YAC, Youth Advisory Commission. And that is that's a board of high school kids that are typically junior. Well, I think you have to, so you can be on it as a sophomore. Whenever you go into 10th grade, I believe that's right, maybe 9th grade, but that's a board of 16 students, and we want to hear from them. We want to know what works for Temple as a student, what doesn't, what does Temple need, what do we have too much of, because ultimately what we would like to do is we would like to build a city for generations.
Yes, sir.
Right? I'm fortunate in that one of my 3 children went to all my kids went to college. One of them, after she got out of college, got married, lived in the Austin area, and they decided, you know what, Temple's where we want to be. And so they came home. She and her husband came home, and they have the only 2 grandchildren. So it's very good that they're here. But because we want to build a community where we have that younger generation always keeping things fresh, keeping things moving, and just building this sort of generational tie to Temple. Now, I lived in Abilene till I was 28. I moved here, right? And over my 26 years of living in Temple, I have built that emotional tie to Temple. So even if those kids move off, that's fine. But we want to develop a sense of community here that they can bring back here, or that they can take somewhere else and build a community there. Because you know what it's like. There's a lot of anti-community sentiment out there.
Yes,
There's
yes.
a lot of selfishness out there.
Yes, yes.
There's a lot of what can I do for me out there.
Yes.
And I think in a lot of ways that goes back to you feeling like you belong to something.
Yes, yes.
Right? So we're the Temple Wildcats, we're Christians, we're different ethnicities.
Right.
We put ourselves in a lot of buckets that if we let them, they can separate us. But I think whenever you think of yourself as a sense of community, right? You and I live in the same neighborhood. I know where you live.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And so you and I are in a community.
Been over my house.
Yes, I have been. But
Vote for me. No, I was playing, and I
right.
did.
That's right. I think that may have been how we met. But again, it's because you're crossing all barriers.
Yes,
whenever
yes.
I care about you as a person, as a Templeite, or whatever. And so I think that when you build that sense of community, you begin to peel away some of those layers of individualism that are not always good for a community.
Yes, yes, that's true.
Right? So my time as mayor, that's my hope, is at the end of all of this, that I leave Temple, and we all want to do that, and whatever our vocation is, I leave Temple better than when I found it.
Yes.
Right? And there's been some bumps in the road, and you're aware of those, right?
Yes, yes.
But we work through those. We work through those because we know each other.
Yes.
And we care about each other, and then we move on. And
Yes.
ultimately, the slope is up.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
what we want.
So we're stronger together than we are apart. No island. Yes, yeah.
Of course
that's
we
good.
are.
Yes, yes.
Of course we are. Try to do it on your own
Yes.
and see how long you make it.
Yes.
That's a tough road.
You're right. And, don't forget now, we're not here for ourselves only, but we're here for others. And like, Tim said, that's the part, we're so selfish in so many different ways. If you don't see it my way, then we're going to depart. I had one pastor tell us one time, he said, if just because we disagree, then we got to get a divorce. But you see it all the time. Somebody disagree, okay, we separate. You go your way and I go my way. But that's not what it should be. The Bible says, "Come, let us reason together." So let's reason. Let's see what we got good together, which is Christianity, and we work on that. Don't worry about the other stuff. Other stuff will just take care of itself.
We focus so much on those things that divide us.
Yes.
What about
yes.
those things that join us?
Yes. Yes.
Right?
That's true. And we sometimes we as human do just the opposite.
Oh yeah.
We do just the opposite.
Because we're selfish.
Yes, that's it. Me, 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 me. It's all about me.
Yep.
But don't y'all write in now, because we know it may be about y'all, but don't write in. It's all good. It's all good. But I really appreciate you, coming and giving some information. Not only that, but, like to have you back on a Wednesday again, whenever you have a choice. But the idea is, like I said, at least you're giving us information, what's going on. Not only that, tell us when the city council meetings are.
Yep.
Not only that, we have, 3 minutes to talk at the beginning, if you sign up before 5 o'clock.
That's right.
You found out,
That's right.
I'm telling you, about 4:58.
We want to hear from you, but you better follow the rules.
Yes, yes. and I've been down there and spoke for 3 minutes, and, they just, ask you, your name and your address, so they know that you're a local. And then all of that, then you have 3 minutes to say, well, max 2 minutes and a half after that, to say what you have to say, and they will not respond to you. They just heard your voice.
Yep.
So it's good if you just want to talk for 2 minutes and a half, just come and tell us about your voice, and, just tell them what they're doing good, because, you can always focus on the bad. But let's talk about, hey, Mayor, I like how, you run the city. I like how, you're striving to do better. I like how you crossing the bridge. I like how you're not, trying to be a divider, but a bridge gapper, so stuff like that. They like to hear stuff like that. I like to hear stuff like that, because, like I said, you're saying that, somebody is watching us and we're doing something good, not always bad. Okay.
Yep. So city council meetings are the first Thursday and the third Thursday of every month.
First and third.
First and third,
Thursday,
downtown,
every month.
5 p.m.
Sharp. That's sharp now, okay?
Yeah, we start at 5, and it's at the municipal building, City Hall, right? And it's right there between Adams and Central, downtown, and between 3rd and Main. So everybody should know it.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
It's where the big Christmas tree is every Christmas.
There's a whole lot of things that go on throughout the year. There's a National Day of Prayer. They have their event there, thanks to the mayor, and so not only that, but it's a whole lot of other events goes on. They got the in the back section, they have the food trucks on first Saturday, I believe.
So they do a couple of events. One of them is can't remember the name of it. Basically, it's where small businesses come and they set up in the city parking lot. People that maybe have a business from home. I heard, I listened to Mr. Douglas's talk whenever he was here, and I think his wife was in the soap business.
Yes.
So it's sort of artisan type things that local folks do, and they'll have some food trucks set up there. I'll tell you a great event that has just taken off is what's called First Friday. So the first Friday of every month, the stores and the restaurants, they open a little bit later, and especially this time of year, in the spring and the fall when it's not so cold or so hot. Downtown is just teeming with people, and you can go down there and you can get a good meal and spend a nice evening down there, or you can go down there for free and just walk around and enjoy the vendors. There's something there for everybody. There's live music going on. There's art. There's a lot, like I said, a lot of stores are open. Lots of food trucks are there.
Yes, sir.
So that's always a really fun event.
Yes. I tell you what, it was so fun that my wife and I, we went down there the first Friday in March, and we went to Nami's. To Nami's, and not only we had a great food, but we had the orchestra from TIHD was playing the violins.
Nice.
And I'm like, whoa, this is nice. And they didn't have to tip them or nothing. But it was all good, though. It was fun. So it was relaxing, and, that's what we need. We need to be more relaxed instead of being uptight. And so, come out, we know it's been cool lately, but, when first Friday come of the month, just come out and just walk. You don't have to buy nothing. You don't have to eat anything. Just walk. But I guarantee you smell those onions, you're going to buy something. It's just
true.
phenomenal. And so let us come and reason together. Just come, let us reason together and work on it.
And you'll see people there that you haven't seen in forever.
In a couple of years at least.
That's a good place to congregate. And then again, because I'm community minded, and that's what I do a lot. A lot of my time is thinking about the community. But you look out there and you realize that in Temple, Texas, there is every walk of life. And First Friday is a great place to go observe that.
Yes.
Because there's as my dad would say, there's every make and model down there.
Yes.
And go enjoy it. Again, part of that community and realizing that just because people are different, we're really kind of all the same.
Yes. And another thing just hit me a few minutes ago is it's not only that, but spend money in your own community. Quit. I mean, it's okay to go to different cities and all that stuff. We're not saying you're isolated here, but spend money in your own city. Then you'll see something happen in your own city. So, we got to keep the money generating in this area.
So to put a number with that, our city budget, a lot of people think that only property tax, right, the tax that we pay just for owning our property, they think that is the sole support. That property tax only accounts for about 30% of the budget. A larger percentage than the property tax is sales tax. So whenever you spend money here in Temple, then part of that sales tax comes back to Temple and is what fixes our streets. It's what pays for trash trucks. It's what cleans out those pipes if you poured bacon grease down them. It's all of those things. And so a lot of people think, well, then my neighbor down the street, they're always buying stuff from Amazon. You know what? The tax that you pay on a product that you have shipped to you, as long as it came here, it landed on a Temple front porch, we still get property tax for that. So don't worry about shopping at Amazon either.
That's pretty smart. We didn't know about that. We thought it was going overseas somewhere, but hey, it's coming right here to the local area.
That's right. So Temple's a great place, and I know that we're probably trying to wrap up. I don't know how much time we have.
Well, we got just about 3 more hours.
Well,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I can talk if you haven't noticed. But I get together with a group of, we call it the Mayor's Engagement Luncheon, where every mayor in Bell County and the mayor of Gatesville, just us guys, I'm going to call it just us guys because we happen to be all men, except for Clean. Clean now has a female mayor, and so she'll be at the next one, and we meet with the commanding general at Fort Hood. So there's 7 or 8 mayors and the commanding general, and we talk mostly about Fort Hood things, but to a meeting, one of those 8 or 9 mayors will come up to me and he'll say, Mayor, what are you guys doing in Temple that's so different? How is the city of Temple able to do the things that y'all are able to do, provide the services you're able to provide, and do it all at a reasonable tax rate? And so we are noticed in the region. The city of Temple is noticed, and I'm not saying it's me. That's not what I'm saying at all. But because good decisions have been made in the past, and we continue to make those good financial decisions, the city of Temple is stellar in this region. Easily, we have the budget to do the things that we need to do, and therefore, right? We talked earlier about taking care of the old, but when you have to replace it, you replace it, and so we have the money to replace what we need to keep services, utilities, all those things that citizens come to expect. We have the capacity to do that, and like I said, we are the envy of many in our region. I'll say this to a point, to sort of paint a picture, I guess. So, Winter Storm Uri, Snowvid, whatever we call it. The city of Killeen, the last number, and I'm just making a difference. The city of Killeen had $40 million. That's the last number I heard. $40 million of required repairs to their roads because of that. Water gets under the asphalt, it freezes, and then how people break when their pipes break. Same thing happens with asphalt. Once that water freezes, then it thaws and expands, it tears roads up. Because if you don't have the money, you build to the cheapest standard that you can. The city of Temple had less than $1 million of road damage that had to be repaired. And I think in many ways that's a testament to how the city historically has operated. And I believe the city of Temple, we are now, we're enjoying the fruits of past labor.
Yes, sir.
And, kind of a consistent method of doing things the right way. And we've enjoyed that, in that case, to the tune of a $39 million savings. Right?
Wow.
versus a sister city.
Yes, yes.
So I'm proud to be the mayor here. And I'll tell you what else I especially enjoy about these types of things is it's not often that my quote unquote political life, my mayor life, intersects with my Christian life.
Yes, yes.
And I always I'm not shy about my faith.
Mm-hmm.
And the old children's song, "Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm going to let it shine," and I'm fine with that. And so I want to thank you for this opportunity to come here because many people don't know me, which is fine, and those that do know me may not know I'm a Christian, and I'm a Christian first, just like we all,
yes,
just like you and I are.
Yes,
our faith comes first, and I let that. I pray for wisdom, I pray for guidance, and I pray for grace every day in my role as mayor because I need all those things.
Yes, yes. So pray for your mayor, okay? You're probably saying, well, I don't even like him, or don't worry about what you don't like. Pray for him. I know you don't like me neither, but pray for me too. Call my name out first.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But the idea is, let us work together, okay? And we're stronger together than we are apart. Always remember that. We're stronger together. We are apart. But Mayor, I thank you for coming and hanging out with me. And
my pleasure.
Not only that, but let me know when the opportunity come again. We just sit there and talk what's going on in the city of Temple and give us information because people need to know what's going on.
Well, and again, I know they're probably running short of time, but if someone, this was very informal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just asked me some questions and I answered them. But if somebody ever wants to know something specific, and this is a good avenue to get that information out, if somebody wants to have a better understanding of the neighborhood planning districts, or if they want to have a better understanding of, so one thing that we've talked about is setting up a historical district for the historically African-American churches
Yes.
in this area. And I'm sure you
I'm aware of it.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And so if somebody, and that's a fun thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if somebody wants a specific presentation on that, or if someone wants, anything that people, as they drive by or walk by, scratch their head and they think, I wonder what's going on there, and it's the city project, which most of them are, we'll have the answers.
Yes, sir.
So if somebody wants to know something specific, we can do it in a format like this, or we can come to you, if there's a civic club or somebody like that that wants answers, we can put something together in fairly short order. We're everything is in the light of day, everything's transparent. If you want an answer to something, we can get it for you.
Yes, sir. That's good. I like that. See, in other words, it's an open door. People say, well, it's open door, and then you go in the door shut. But at least, you may not like what you hear, but hey, it's going to be legit. So that's the main key. So I appreciate that,
Absolutely.
Like you say, it's not always going to be your way. It's not going to be always my way. But let's work together upon understanding one another and get it going on. And if not, you can always say, hey, Mary, let me take you out to lunch. And you pay for it, okay? How's that? And we're not talking about Jack in the Box and McDonald's. Nothing wrong with those places, but take them out to a nice place and just sit there and talk. Then it's not just to get up under his skin and nothing like that, but just to talk and chat. And then you get to really know the real person. The only thing sometimes you would know only what the media tell us. Mm-hmm. But when you sit down and talk to somebody, you get to know the real them. So sit down and talk. Even take me along and buy my lunch too, okay? But I'm just playing. It's all good. But
can I get some contact information for me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So my city email address is just my first initial, T Davis, super complicated. So TDAVIS at templetx.gov, G-O-V.
Okay. Say it one more time again.
Yep.
And I think she typed it in up there.
All right. Well, if not, T Davis at templetx.gov, and my city cell number is 254-217-3503. And be patient with me getting back to you, but I will.
Oh, you might not get it directly, but it'll come, okay?
No. You contact me there. You'll get it directly. That'll be from me.
All right. Now, you heard that. You heard that from the mayor, the fearless leader of City of Temple. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. And like saying, we'll pray for you, and you'll pray for us. We work out together.
Yes, sir.
Now, would you close out with the word of prayer?
I will. I'd be glad to.
Yes, sir.
Father in heaven, Lord, we want to know you better, but we know that you know us. And so we thank you for that, Lord. We know that you know each of us as individuals, and that's a powerful thing. Lord, as always, we ask that you be with those that we love. We ask that you be with New Day Fellowship, Lord, and in all of the programs and the projects that they're working on. We ask that you watch over those things, Lord, and that you bless those things, and that the things that are in line with your will, we ask you bless those things, Lord. And whenever we're doing something that is not within your will, Lord, we ask that you gently help us to know to put the brakes on.
Yes.
So we love you. We know that you're with us, Lord, and we know that you're with us because you sent your Son.
Yes.
And for that, Lord, we are thankful because it gives us a chance for everlasting life. So we ask that you watch over us as we go about our daily tasks, and we always keep you in mind. And in your Son's most heavenly name, Lord, amen.
Amen. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget now, if you need a church home, there's a New Day Fellowship Church here. Also, there's Western Hills Church of Christ across town, or any church locally. Make sure they're a Bible-based church. You go to Bible-based church and just put yourself in there and just learn, and things will work out just fine for your good. Okay. God bless you. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.